Let's get to chopping this Fable.
This morning investigation from Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. Pierre. George, good morning. This is a rerun that many simply do not want to see again. Yet another person in a mental health crisis getting access to guns and slaughtering innocent people. The killer in this case has been diagnosed with an emotional disorder so concerning the parents did not believe that this person should have access to guns. The parents told police they knew about one firearm but thought it had been sold, but it turns out the shooter was hiding 7 guns in the home that had been bought legally because the soon-to-be mass murderer had no criminal record. The police chief said his department had no knowledge any of this was happening. So when the shooter contacted a friend just minutes before the attack to say a suicide mission was imminent, it was far too late. Here we have another case where an increasingly suicidal and dangerous person is left with access to guns with nothing to stop them from going on a killing spree. Again, no connecting of dots, Robin.
No connecting of dots. Again, we always appreciate your reporting, Pierre. Thank you. Hi.
I'll watch that again.
This morning investigation from Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. Pierre. George, good morning. This is a rerun that many simply do not.
I swear I had to watch this I must have watched this 20 times. But let's watch it again, and then we'll get to chopping this Fable.
To see again. Yet another person in a mental health crisis getting access to guns and slaughtering innocent people. The killer in this case has been diagnosed with an emotional disorder so concerning the parents did not believe that this person should have access to guns. The parents told police they knew about one firearm but thought it had been sold, but it turns out the shooter was hiding 7 guns in the home that had been bought legally because the soon-to-be mass murderer had no criminal record. The police chief said his department had no knowledge any of this was happening. So when the shooter contacted a friend just minutes before the attack to say a suicide mission was imminent, it was far too late. Here we have another case where an increasingly suicidal and dangerous person is left with access to guns with nothing to stop them from going on a killing spree. Again, no connecting of dots, Robin.
No connecting of dots. Again, we always appreciate your reporting, Pierre. Thank you.
Let's take it frame by frame.
This morning investigation from Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. Pierre. George, good morning. This is a rerun that many simply do not want to see again.
Agreed.
Yet another person in a mental health crisis getting access to
Whoa.
guns and slaughtering
Whoa.
innocent people.
I'm gonna stop it right there. So now, this nigga had all kind of mental health problems. Alright? Now this nigga had all kind of mental health problems. Okay. Cool. Let's keep going.
The killer in this case had been diagnosed with an emotional disorder so concerning the parents did not believe that this person should have access to guns. The parents told police
Emotional disorder.
they knew about one firearm but thought it had been sold, but it turns out the shooter
His parents knew about one firearm, which was a pistol, but they thought he sold it.
was hiding 7 guns in the home that had been bought legally because the soon-to-be mass murderer had no criminal record.
But he ended up having 7 firearms hidden in their home because the soon-to-be mass murderer was able to legally purchase all of those firearms because he had no criminal record. Just listen.
She said his department had no knowledge any of this was happening. So when the shooter...
The police chief says he had no knowledge that all of this was happening.
contacted a friend just minutes before the attack to say a suicide mission was imminent, it was far too late. Here we have a...
Hold on, because the avioneta. Let's run that back a little bit. I want to make sure y'all hear it.
Had no knowledge any of this was happening. So when the shooter contacted a friend just minutes before the attack to say a suicide mission was imminent, it was far too late. Here we have another case where an increasingly suicidal and dangerous person is left with access to guns with nothing to stop them from going on a killing spree. Again, no connecting of dots, Robin.
No connecting.
No connecting of the dots of how this happened. But luckily, he made a call to his friend before he went in and did what he did and said a suicidal attack was imminent. So now That shit crazy to me, bro. And you can't lie to somebody like me because I have what's called intuition. I have what's called sound reason and logic. Now, am I condoning what the dude did? Absolutely not. But what I want to allow America to do is to play me like I'm stupid. Because if we look at the facts from the end to the beginning, it goes, there's no connecting of the dots of how this happened. This is how my mind processes it. There's no connecting in the dots of how this happened. So let me make up some dots. The shooter called his friend and said a suicide attack was imminent moments before the attack happened. So now we can call him suicidal, even though he didn't take himself out. He actually went and took out other individuals, and then the cops killed him. And then the statement before that would have been the chief of police had no idea all of this was happening. I don't understand newscasters saying that. Why would the chief of police be worried about any individual like that? You're right. I'm pretty sure the chief of police didn't know that dude bought 7 guns. It's not the chief of police's business because he didn't have no criminal record, criminal history. You see what I'm saying? Now, if we back up even further, and this one that gave me, his parents knew that he had been diagnosed with an emotional disease or whatever, meaning that he's mentally unstable. And though they were not, and they didn't want him to own a firearm at all. However, they knew that he had one firearm, but thought he sold it. That shit make sense to y'all? That shit don't make sense to me, bro. I mean, no sense to me. Because I think of it, if I'm a parent, my child has been diagnosed with emotional illness or whatever, and I didn't want him to have a gun, he not gonna have a gun. If I know he got one, I'm going to take that gun. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure, ain't no, oh, well, I'll sell it, Dad, I'll sell it, Mom. Okay, buddy. No, it's gonna be a light. Motherfucker, you nutty, bro. You're not supposed to have a gun. Give me that shit. You see what I'm saying? But to find out, they were not okay with him having one pistol, but end up finding out, this nigga has a arsenal. How do you hide an arsenal? How can you hide an arsenal of weapons from somebody who is uncomfortable with you having a gun in their house? I truly don't get it. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Now, from back to forward, or from start to finish, starts off with a mental illness. Parents are uncomfortable with him having a firearm. Thought he sold the only one that they thought he had. Ends up being he actually had 7. Chief of police has no idea how this happened, which that's really, really fishy to me. Because it make me feel like maybe that nigga had like some top secret security clearance to where he was working in tandem or for the police or some shit like that, or associated with police, maybe the FOP or some shit like that. So the chief of police had to say, oh, I didn't know nothing about that. When in fact, you know everything about the young man, you knew what he was doing, blah, blah, blah. Not saying like he knew he was going to show up at school, but however, chief of police had no idea how this happened. Luckily, he told his friend that a suicidal attack was imminent moments before the attack. And then lastly, to anchor all that shit in, there's no dots to connect. That's how America treats you, bro. That's how stupid America really think you are. Yeah, I mean, just look. Listen. One last time. Just listen. Just listen. One last time, bro. This how dumb America think we are. They could throw out a couple of, we'll say trigger words. Throw out a couple trigger words so that way it creates fear and it makes it seem like we need to do something. Now watch how all these gun laws and shit might change, may not. Crazy part to me, this nigga went inside of a church school, killed 6 people, and the cops took him out. Dylan Roof did the same shit in a black church, and that nigga was still alive.
This morning investigation from Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas. Pierre. George, good morning. This is a rerun that many simply do not want to see again. Yet another person in a mental health crisis getting access to guns and slaughtering innocent people. The killer in this case had been diagnosed with an emotional disorder so concerning that the parents did not believe that this person should have access to guns. The parents told police they knew about one firearm but thought it had been sold, but it turns out the shooter was hiding 7 guns in the home that had been bought legally because the soon-to-be mass murderer had no criminal record. The police chief said his department had no knowledge any of this was happening. So when the shooter contacted a friend just minutes before the attack to say a suicide mission was imminent, it was far too late. Here we have another case where an increasingly suicidal and dangerous person is left with access to guns with nothing to stop them from going on a killing spree. Again, no connecting of dots, Robin.
No connecting of dots. Again,
This nigga gave you 17 dots and then at the end say it is no connecting of dots. Or maybe what he meant to say is, this story that y'all piecing together is some bullshit. And I know it's some bullshit, but y'all paying me to push this narrative. That's what I think. That's what I think, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way your parents so concerned with you having 1 firearm and turn around and you have 7. Ain't no fucking way, bro. Cause that's what America wants you to think. That's exactly what America wants you to think, bro. As a parent, I mean, just really, like, I don't got no kids, so I just think back to when I was a kid, bro. It was times where I would lie to my mom about some shit that I did, and she would know it was a lie, and she would hit me with the sound logic, but we both had to accept it for what it was and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of those to me. You know what I mean? Like, Timothy, have you, Timothy, did you see the last 2 Cokes I put in the refrigerator? Nope, I ain't seen them, Mama. Okay, well, both of your brothers and your sister ain't in the house. It's only been me and you in here all weekend. And I know I ain't drink them. So you mean to tell me the Cokes just grew legs and walked out? How many of y'all heard that expression? So you mean to tell me the shit just grew legs and walked the fuck out? And then and then they look back at you. And you know in your heart of hearts, your parents just sitting there judging the fuck out of you in their head like, this little lying ass motherfucker, bro. This nigga know he lying. He ain't even think of a good lie. That type of shit. Just as an example. Timothy, son, you went and bought a pistol? Yeah, I didn't get a pistol. I ain't had no criminal record. Well, remember Dr. Zoguzulu said that you got that mental disorder, you on medication. I don't think it's right for you to be having a pistol. And I noticed he said he was diagnosed with emotional illness, which makes it a mental illness. But they did not say nothing about suicide before this nigga made a call to his friend, so coincidentally, before the shit happened, saying suicide mission is imminent. I think it's just a bunch of fancy jargon, but it is what it is, man. Like I said, I wasn't even planning on making a video yet, washing my clothes and shit. So, you know, I had to throw on this whatever, but I seen that short come up. I swear I watched that whole like 20 times, and I'm like, this story is all over the place. All over the place. So, man, like I said, I don't condone what he did, but I also don't condone America feeding us some bullshit like that. Personally, what I think, I think that nigga knew some secrets or something. And they had to know some secrets or found some information that he wasn't supposed to have type shit. And nigga was just like, F it. I'm gonna take it into my own hands. And the reason why is because the chief of police quickly mentioned that he ain't had nothing to do or knew nothing about it. As if we can turn around and blame the chief of police. That's the only, you know what I'm saying? That's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? That's like somebody send you to go do some shit. Alright, like, let's say somebody got 2 strikes for the same shit. Kind of sort of in the same vein, you know what I'm saying? And they like, man, I really want to go do that shit again, but I can't. Hey, man, look, I need you to go handle that shit for me real quick. And nigga like, all right, cool, I'll go do it. And as soon as it happened, the shit go down, the nigga with 2 strikes like, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Nigga, wasn't nobody even looking at you. Wasn't nobody asking you nothing. What do you mean you had no idea? Yeah, you can't tell on yourself. They say, well, Tim, we know you good student. You don't really do none of that. Your best friend, he kind of a hoodlum, no? It's like, your best friend sitting there like, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, yeah, you wasn't there, but now that you say that, I kind of think that you had something to do with it. Anyway, come back later in a couple hours with another video. I had to get that shit off my chest, bro. This shit sounds smart to somebody that's stupid.
This morning investigation, Chief Justice for Stop here, Thomas here. George, good morning. This is a rerun that many simply do not want to see again. Yet another person in a mental health crisis getting access to guns and slaughtering innocent people. The killer in this case had been diagnosed with an emotional disorder so concerning that the parents did not believe that this person should have access to guns. The parents told police they knew about 1 firearm but thought it had been sold, but it turns out the shooter was hiding 7 guns in the home that had been bought legally because the soon-to-be mass murderer had no criminal record. The police chief said his department had no knowledge any of this was happening. So when the shooter contacted a friend just minutes before the attack to say a suicide mission was imminent, it was far too late. Here we have another case where an increasingly suicidal and dangerous person is left with access to guns with nothing to stop them from going on a killing spree. Again, no connecting of dots.
No connecting of dots. Shut the hell up.